I bludgeoned my parents with a hammer to throw a party. My name is Tyler Hadley, and this is my horrifying story. I was a 17-year-old boy from Florida, coming from a good home and never having trouble in school. Although I generally had a good relationship with my parents, I harbored resentment towards them for never allowing me to host a party. It was July 16, 2011, when my parents returned home and once again denied me permission to host a party. In my frustration, I took 3 tablets of a designer drug, hid their phones, and locked our black Labrador in a closet, thinking he might help them. Eventually, I entered the living room, where my mother was working on the computer, and I brutally struck her down with a hammer. When my father heard the screams, he rushed out from the bedroom, horrified by the gruesome scene he encountered. I then fatally attacked my father with the same hammer. After murdering them, I dragged their lifeless bodies into their bedroom and spent 3 hours cleaning up the blood and throwing household items that reminded me of them onto their lifeless forms. I then covered their bodies with books and blankets before locking the bedroom door. Even before this terrible act, I had posted an invitation to my party on my Facebook profile. Some friends were skeptical and asked what would happen if your parents came home, to which I responded dryly, "They won't, trust me." I financed the party with my deceased parents' credit cards. Around 60 people gathered at the family home in Fort Pierce, playing beer pong, smoking cigars, and drinking. During the party, I bragged to a friend about the murders and showed him a bloody footprint in the garage, ultimately revealing the corpses in the bedroom. Then we continued the festivities. 4 hours later, my friend left the party and anonymously reported the murders to the police. As officers arrived for a routine check, they discovered the poorly hidden bodies in the parents' bedroom, and I was immediately arrested. Eventually, I was sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms at the age of 17. Judge Robert R. Macron called the crime brutal, heinous, and premeditated. He accused me of manipulating experts and lying about hearing voices. Moreover, I had a prior criminal record, including drug dealing and previous convictions for arson, vandalism, theft, and aggravated assault, before being incarcerated for murder. According to authorities, evidence seized from the house suggested signs of mental issues. A fellow inmate later reported that I distributed autographs in prison, referred to myself as Hammer Boy, and claimed to have spoken with the devil. To this day, the motive for the murders remains unclear. My grandfather expressed his shock, saying, "We don't understand what happened. You always got along." My parents were planning treatment for me before I turned 18, but I refused. Perhaps that was the motive for the murders.